guys, it's Tartan coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. It's day 815 here, and today we're going to think about boats. I know you might be thinking, do you not think every day about boats? It's true. But today we're going to focus even more on boats than ever before. And we're also going to get more seeds for Garuda before we come back home, because we are just seeming so broke. Alright, so first we shall fly. So obviously this is like a great place for boats because we already got like this canyon, right? We don't even have to dig it, you know, it's already here. And then from there, we've got this sort of thing going on, right? So it would be trivially easy to convert all of that we wished into water, and actually super fun because water's great, right? And then we could just bring it all up to sea level, if that's what we elect to do. Now, is that like much bigger than the amount of boats I've ever built, which is 0? Well, what if we want to build one kind of every boat? Alternately, we can do a much smaller project somewhere else. Or just build a boat without like doing a whole pier thing, but kind of want to go all out. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need is spruce. We're going to need to grow a bunch of it. So, you know, you need oak for, like, the keel of your ship, right? And then, you know, because we're probably going to build, like, a bireme or something, you know. So, and then we're going to want something, like, you don't have, like, I guess, like, pine or fir in the game, but spruce can sort of be a stand-in for that, even though you probably wouldn't really find it. There, but I might have a ton. It's possible. I don't remember how much stuff I have. You know, because like 30 spruce logs. I mean, how big's a bireme? What, you know, just like mid-20s meters long, and then, you know, 3 wide, and then we'll just need a few stacks of spruce wood. If this is all there is, we could theoretically need some more if we just wanted to build like a basic one. But we should plant some more spruce trees while we're working out there. Do we have saplings? We should. Yeah, here we go. That'll be plenty. But I'm sure you didn't find any curiosity that thinking about boats would necessitate planting trees at the beginning. Very clearly. Very clearly the boats will be there. Oh, hey 150, how's it going? Today we're talking about boats. Not a ton, just mostly. Alright, so we don't want to plant the trees here because they'll get in the way of the view, right? I mean, we are going to cut them down immediately, though, so that is okay. It's a little close. I'm sure it would grow anyway, but well, I can get a little weird. We're just gonna move this torch in case we're not around. Alright, so That one grew already? We just planted it. Oh, that's right. It's gonna do the weird conversion of the land to that. Alright, so... Man, that's a lot of creeper explosion evidences. One day we'll fill them back in. Not today. They aren't boats. Alright, so... If we have enough wood... I mean, we could build it over here, but I kind of like the idea of it being hidden away. We can build one out here. And then later make a hidden one. This is kind of too close to this, so where do we want to put it? Right here? This is better. This is more separated. Yeah. Yeah, 815, indeed. It would have started, I think it was like October or so of last year. It's been more than a full, like, calendar year I've been playing in this world on hardcore. I've only been playing Minecraft for like a year and a half, but whenever I started playing hardcore, I kinda, picked it up well enough to be able to live. I don't do anything dangerous anymore. Anybody can stay alive this long if they want. There have been a couple incredibly tense moments, but now, like, what's gonna happen? Ooh, Nautiluses! They showed up here. I don't know how they work. We need to figure that out. They are totally boat related. I hope I don't have to explain why. Oh, and they're so pretty too. Alright, let's go see one. Alright, what are we thinking? Maybe like seagrass or something? Do I have clippers on me? Maybe. We should have iron in here. Yeah. It's been a while since I've played, actually. But I had this idea the other day. Not to swim around here, but there was a bunch of stuff to do, right? Like, where are the Nautiluses? And I've definitely seen this before, right? Yeah, clearly. I'm like... There's no way I hadn't noticed it at some point. I just don't remember it. It is, after all, right here. But yeah, alright, so... I did see Nautiluses. But where? I want them to be my friend. We're just gonna dive around until we see them. We're pretty quick underwater. We could fly, of course, but... we could also look... Could have got the trident out. Haha! Hello, friend. So my friends have this bedrock realm thing, and alright, they don't eat seagrass, that's alright. How about kelp or fish? I don't know anything about these guys. No! You must eat something. Would you like a delicious ink sac? Don't worry about the squid we got it from. Nope. Will the menu tell us anything? I doubt it. It will tell us its name. What have I done? Oh no, what have I done? Alright, we hit a button to hide the UI, which is unfortunate, and I've dropped my axe. That's not great. It's okay. But I kind of need my UI. I don't know the hotkey. Embarrassing. Alright. We're paused underwater, right? We're not breathing here. I can't tell. You know, this is very nerve-wracking. Oh, man. Alright, yeah, we'll just get out of there real quick. F1, okay. There we go. Everything is the same again. You know, not being able to see what's going on is not wonderful. Alright. A possible trident. Maybe if we prove our quality to the Nautilus by the destruction of trident-bearing foes, we'll be able to impress them and disservice. Perhaps with a rock hod. Where'd the Nautilus go? Oh no. It's like this fool doesn't even know the hotkey to hide his UI. There he is. Come on, buddy. You want to eat a fish? He does not want to eat a fish. I am all out of ideas. We're going to go here and sleep on the bottom of the ocean. This is a thing that you can do. It's very good for, like, the complexion. It makes you look very tough. You just go down 10, 15 meters deep. It's Minecraft, so it's metric. Alright, well... we were theorizing a boat. Let's go cut down a couple of these trees. We should have plenty of wood, though. But... not like these boats, like an actual boat. You know, I'm aware that you can build boats. But there are boats and then there are boats, of course. Some boats are boatier than others. We need to get some stairs here, too. That's not boat-related, but it is boat-related, because if we can walk down to the docks, then that would be better. The docks, figuratively, I don't have them either. I'm incredibly lazy and spent most of my time making a river. Do we have any blocks? No. Okay. Do we want to trim this down some? Well, it's not advantageous to be this tall, so we can use this time to trim it down some. Unless we ultimately are going to build boats underneath in a sort of hidden area, but you know. We clearly already were covering up something here. Makes sense. Like, I remember it being more varied, of course it was. This one grew pretty tall indeed. Using dirt instead of sand is really a rookie move. Pretty poor choice. We're cutting this tree down like I've never cut a spruce down before. I have. This is how to do it. Because you can walk on one block like so, and then you don't have to move around at all. Ideally, you wouldn't be doing this with the dirt. Because you'll just use sand or some odd, you know, theoretically gravel as well. Any gravity-bearing thing. Have you beaten the Ender Dragon? Oh yes, this is actually the only world where I've ever beaten the Ender Dragon. But yeah, I can fly and stuff. I've got the egg on the wall. But yeah, I built this lake. It's not much. And all the garish waterfalls, really all of this water, I put all that in, and all of this, and this river thing. I built all that. Obviously, the islands in the sky. You know, a bunch of this stuff was sort of already here. I didn't do like anything with the central mountain. We spawned right over here. I planted that tree, but yeah, looking out at the ocean. And then there's a village over there, and then I turned to see this, which is just like basically my favorite kind of look in the game, right? The snow-capped mountain wreathed in cherry trees. It's just very excellent. And I'm always planting lots of cherry trees everywhere, but only some of these are mine, like, and then there's all these groves that go on for just ages over in this direction, and, you know, that was all with the game, but this is where I live here. But I got to get some seeds real quick. It's very important. This is Garuda, you see. Garuda is the boss of the crime family. I'm just, you know, an important figure in it. But I'm not much of one for decorating, right? But, you know, we've got our dragon head on the wall there, and our dragon egg there. Little wither skull. We've beat the wither, you know. I've only fought them one time. It was here on hardcore. And, you know, we've got our art. We got our little Marcus Aurelius, our bookshelves, and our paintings of skulls. Very heavy metal. But you always have to have seeds to give to Garuda because he's the boss, you know, and you gotta pay tribute. You gotta give him the envelope. But, you know, most of the time I just mess around, you know, plant flowers, talk to myself, dig out archaeological things. What we're doing now is remembering that I needed to get oak. We definitely have oak planks sitting in a box somewhere. We definitely have enough. Did I move all of them? Oh my goodness. I mean, dark oak works too, right? Yeah, obviously dark oak works too. Do pale oak for like the planks. That contrast could be interesting. We'll take some with us. So I'm probably gonna do the worst job of trying to build a boat, but the first step of being bad at building a boat is sinking a boat. And this boat can't sink, you know. The good thing is, like, the seaworthiness, totally unimportant. So all it will need to do is appear to be a boat. You know, the oars won't need to turn. The sail doesn't need to exist. If we could find some way to represent the oars visually, it would be nice. But I'm trying to think of anything that would work, and I'm not seeing it. Do like a copper rod sideways? I don't think they work that way. But anyway. Let's get to work. You're about to see a very human performance. Alright, so I think we want, what, like some stairs for the bottom of the keel, right? You know, to represent, like, there'll be upside down stairs, so we'll need to do, like a line of blocks down the center, and then stairs on the opposite sides of it to be the base, and then we can just stagger that upward till we get to the deck, which should be 3 and only 3 blocks across, I want to say. You know, there's not a lot of room on a biream for interpretation. I mean, we could make a much bigger one. A trireme? A quadreme? No, let's don't be silly. Yeah, I think this is fine. So we'll just do, like... Whoops. 20 should be fine. Alright, and we're just gonna, like, oh, you know, we need a pier, too. Well, we could just build it, like, in the water and then chip this away and build the pier to it. Or rather, the dock. Whatever. Alright, so we're just gonna start building the boat where? Like, here? Yeah, this is fine. Should have been counting. I should have had the amount of blocks out of my inventory first. Anyway, because theoretically the dimension should work in Minecraft, right? I mean, if it's off by a couple, that's fine. The width is the only thing that really matters, right? Said you didn't know Java allows you to place beds in order. Yes, it's very excellent, and it gets your breath back. You probably were aware of breathable doors, which I found like deeply scandalous when they didn't happen. This is way too close to the surface of the water, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, that is... Well, we can just go underneath it, right? Yeah. What have I done? Oh, right, these are all dark oak Besides replacing the keel. Anyway, let's go get some more dark oak wood. Man, I am so good at building things. Yeah, definitely on my... There's a lot of things about Bedrock that I found deeply frustrating. I mean, not having a functioning offhand, by far the worst. But... This is Baby Moosh and Mooshy Smalls. Together they're like a singer and songwriting, like a hip-hop rapping duo thing. Very important members of the crime family. We dug like a massive canal that spanned like a couple thousand blocks to bring them safely here. Because, you know, we knew them in a different hardcore world, but then we died, so everybody had to get reincarnated and reassembled and stuff. This is the vault. You can tell by the way it is. This is Mr. Pump. He guards it. And it is not organized. The vault contains everything. But right now we're just concerned with the dark oak stuff. What's the utility of having any thickness on the interior beyond this? Probably nothing. We'll just build up around it and then chop it immediately if it turns out that we don't need it. Alright. What are we doing? Stairs. Alright, so here... No, alright, so we're gonna have to... Okay, so to get the appropriate stair, we need a block above it so that we can go like so. There's definitely a way to do the angle where... Yeah, we need there. But that's the opposite direction, right? So we need that way, which can be done if you just target the top of the block. Got it. Well, that's good. I don't know anything about building boats. I don't know enough about boats, really, to try to build one. But I like boats, so I figured I would do it anyway. No one can stop me. Don't try to stop me. I mean, the boat might not work, but it can still be a good boat anyway. Alright. So that's as wide as, like, the beam on the deck needs to be. Tried hardcore on Java before, you say, but you're so used to playing Bedrock that you find Java almost unplayable? Well, you know, I guess it's all in what you're used to, right? But for me, like, you never see me use a shield now, but if you watch early hardcore videos of me, you know, like, what I do whenever I'm first in a world, getting a shield is very high on my priority list. You know, like, I'm gonna build a shield before I make an iron pickaxe, no question. If I have any amount of iron, it's going to a shield. You know, you only need the one, but I build a shield before a bucket, and I love buckets. Buckets are very important. I won't go underground without one, but alright, so that was basically no work, but we're going to continue on. Alright, so there's the base there, and then how do we get up above the water line? We go another whole thing of blocks here, and then alright, what'll it look like if we do this right? It'll look like exactly how it's supposed to go. Alright. This attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed, and this dolphin speed boost is not helping me. Like there's a trident stuck in the ground. But no, you know, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious though, but you know, sometimes I think, man, it's too bad that I got good enough at hardcore to probably not die. Because the very beginning of a Minecraft world is amazing, right? When everything you find is so important and like you can find a chest and care about what's in it. Like, I still, like, you know, it's fun to find whatever, but, like, I don't need another diamond. I use diamonds for decorations, you know. And not because I'm, like, super wealthy, but just because, like, you, at a certain point, you don't need another one ever. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Of course, the chest in water, the highest form of the chest. You can put all of your trash in there and never have to worry about anybody ever hurting it. Man, these dolphins are absolutely not helping our goal of building a boat. I mean, we're clearly not going to build the whole boat today, but we've started, and that's something. And maybe we'll come back someday and do more. And again, since the boat doesn't have to, like, run, we'll probably be okay. That one's wrong. Outrageous. Am I drowning? Yes. It's gonna be too wide. No, not necessarily, right? Yeah, we can just have... Yeah, we'll just... Because right now we're still just at 3, and then we'll be at the water level, and we can put stuff on the sides of the ship and still just have 3 wide in the middle. Look, they just have to be 3 meters wide. It's really important. I don't know why. It's just how they are. You learn it in class. Not like boat class, I never had that. But bireme class, such as it is. But you don't learn how to make them in Minecraft. I'm just sort of winging it. But it should be like the easiest of the boats that I've heard of to make. No, that's not true. I'm sure Raft could have been buildable. But that's hardly fun. So we can make it longer or even taller out of the water at any amount. It just like, it sort of just needs to be 3 meters across though. I think. It's possible that scholarship has advanced since I last learned anything. Which wouldn't be surprising at all, seeing as I don't teach current. All I do is occasionally build boats or parts of them. quick. We should have sufficient stuff in the chests. Indeed. The elytra's fine now, we just need to bend the shovel some. Looks like we're getting a little bit of cram here. It's not the end of the world. Let's just pop some though. Says a lot of pigs. I mean some. I try to keep these to be more reasonable than like the Field of 1,000 Cows in my survival world. So called because that is its name. There's sometimes like 1,500 there, sometimes as low as like 500. It just depends. That's in the wheat world. Of course, there's some wheat here, but not like, not much. Do I have any other farms? Not as such. You know, we've got the cow field here, and then, you know, we just have, you know, the wheat field there, and I've got, you know, a little wheat thing here. I have, like, not really. I have just, like, a concept for a sugarcane one, but I never really implemented it. Because, like, just because I kind of grow enough. But, hey, Luke, how's it going, man? I'll never guess who your current 3K campaign is. Let's see. Is it because it's the Ube, or because it's something hilarious and out of character? Does it involve elephants? You'll just have to tell me. I'm terrible at guessing. But yes, no, the only, this is the only automated redstone thing we built, you know, which is just like very brute force, you know, throw some sugarcane in there. This is a lie. Sometimes I just come and put sugarcane into it so that I can't tell how good it is. But no, I had made like a somewhat almost one half automated chicken farm once. If that's shenanigans with you wrong, that is very good. Alright, we need sand, right? Do we have some over here? We probably should. Were you doing that's in just the base game, or do they have the alternate start dates in 190 expanded mod also? But yes, talk about Total War Three Kingdoms. It's a strategy game set in the Three Kingdoms era of Chinese history. It is very fun, very cool game. Base game word. But no, I play it on the stream every now and then. Well, I mean, not so much now. I did play for, what must have been like 250 hours from when I bought it until I, picked up something else. But great fun. Anyway, we need sand. I've got to have some somewhere. We can just go get more. I've got to have some in the vault. There's no good place to get sand here. We'll mess up everything. This sand is very important. This is the sand that we haven't mined away yet. Yeah, we'll just go to the vault. Yeah, look, I've been playing more on the Scrag campaign. It is no longer anywhere close to a disaster. It is wonderful. Some stuff may not be going so good, but now that I've figured out how ogres work a little bit, it's not unlosable, but I can't lose it. Not from where we're at. I don't think so, anyway. I can just run away from Queek, right? Well, 150, you'll have to let me know what you think. Total War Warhammer is one of my most played games, and is definitely one of my favorite games. What was I getting here? Sand. That'll be enough. One of my most played games of the last, decade or so, since I discovered it. Very fun. Can take a lot of getting used to, but I think they're wonderful games. And the historical titles are super cool. I never got really into any of them, but I know people that did, and my brother plays a lot of medieval. I like my dragons and stuff too much, and my doughty dwarves. It's hard to go back to regular dudes on horses when you can have horses that are also griffins. A coalition unites? That is interesting. But that makes sense because it's them being part of the same alliance. Coalition and home. Confederate them. You get all of that to level up the faction. That is so clean. And then you get smoke as well. Well, what's happening is that he is doing elite shenanigans to unite the tribes of the jungle. We have like elephants and tigers and stuff. Mainly elephants. The tigers are also there, but they're not as good as you want them to be. Alright, so we're getting somewhere here. But we need what? Another... I mean, it's got to come out of the water somewhat, I guess. He's trying to hit me. Outrageous. Obviously, it has to come out of the water somewhat. Like, oh yeah, it occurs to me we don't have to build up to the top of a tree anymore, like an animal. We will simply, gracefully, get to it. Party for the day? Byreme. We're doing a Byreme, or at least part of one, because really, you know, we were doing a lot of boat-related projects, right? First of all, we had to brainstorm. Then we had to build more trees, create more trees, grow them. That's the verb. I knew if I just looked for the verb long enough, I could find it. Yeah, no, the way to do it is like this. So you stand in the center, right? And then you rotate down like this. And then all you have to do is spin the mouse, and you don't have to do any other inputs, and you just hold it down the whole time. This is the correct way to do it. I just sometimes do it a different way. But this is how to chop a spruce tree. You go to and it's very swift, you know. I have a few thousand bookcases, 7,000 in the survival worlds. I've cut down a lot of trees there. But yeah, I figured Byreme, nice, easy, you know, what, like 24 meters long. You can do like 30 if you're being spicy. You know, you only need like a 3-meter deck, easy proportions for Minecraft, you know. I figured that could be nice, you know, classic, timeless. Doing like, you know, dark oak for the keel, and you know, probably the prow as well, and then we'll do like a copper battering ram thing, and then, you know, spruce for the sides and such coming out of the water. Although it's not really appropriate, like pine and fir aren't in the game. And spruce sort of is the wood stand-in for all of them, right? I was thinking about the ores. I'm like, do they have to just be theoretical? Because how do we... How do we represent the ores? Like, with solid blocks? No, that's ridiculous. Then I'm like, well, like, with copper, like the lightning rod sideways, I don't think that works. But honestly, I began doing a rowboat before I really thought about the rowing. I mean, you know, for reasons, it's the first boat that comes to mind. Even before the raft and the canoe, you know, my mind goes to the bireme. I used to play so much Civilization. Yeah, because the brainstorming long term, right, is like, all right, what if we seal in all of this, right, and then over here, bonk. All right, well, that was a little more aggressive than we wanted. I really thought I could make that cut. And then we go in here, and it's like a secret entrance into the lagoon, and we just chip all this out, bring all this up to sea level, and then build other boats in here. And then I'm like, can I build like a junk in there though, like a really big one? Because obviously after the bireme, why not a junk? I don't know much about battleships, but I could cobble together a junk from memory. First of all, you're allowed to make them really big. Yeah, the bireme, you know, maybe they didn't. Did they go like trireme galley, even though like galley is a subset of those? Is it a unique unit for Dito? In 5 or 6? I don't know. But I knew when they called them triremes, they really meant biremes. The more important thing. We need gunpowder. It's time to fight through the night here. This is not boat related, but it's still very important. Yes, you are spiders. You are very scary. Everybody is intimidated by your big, silly legs. Oh, they're dead. They like to feel like you're doing well. You don't want people to die embarrassed. Wait, that's not the order of things. Yeah. Clean. That's kind of far. Can we hit it? Yep. Oh, he fell down. Oh, well, you know. It was a greedy shot anyway. The Phoenicians get by in 6, okay. I'm like, I used to play Carthage a bunch, or Phoenicia, whichever it was. Whichever my girl Alyssa was in charge of. They just call her Dido in the game, of course. But, man, I really... You know, it's not boat related, but we really need to get rid of all of these creeper explosion evidentiary craters. Alright, so this is an entirely unfruitful gunpowder gathering night. Yes. Alyssa's one of her other names, you know, classical times. Like, she gets rendered both ways in the Aeneid. But spelled this, I think, super excellent way, like, for English, like Elissa, which actually always sort of reminds me of, like, Elisar, one of Aragorn's little, names in there. Like, it sort of reminds me of, like, sort of just like an elfin take on that spelling of Alyssa. But I'm not enough of a Tolkien scholar, by which to mean I'm not one at all, so I don't know if he was trying to be reminiscent of that. He surely would have known all about the stories. I would not have had anything to teach him about literature, that is for certain. Nice. I know a guy called Aeneas, but I don't like. He's like a younger dude. I don't really talk to him, and I don't know how to be like, hey, did you read the book you're named after? I mean, I hope so. If I had a sweet name from a famous book, I would read it. So you still don't really get copper armor. It's a stopgap. Well, see, the problem with gold is that it disappears. You use it for a very brief period of time. Copper is a thing that you can get very readily on the surface that will, especially on easy, give you significant protection. So, like, it's a very nice thing because leather is not very good at doing anything. And also, you know, it really might just be, you know, like, for the kiddies. Like, maybe, you know, the kid doesn't want to hit, you know, the cow for the leather armor, but they still need to get introductory armor. Well, copper is, like, a way they can do it, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I know whenever I loaded into the Bedrock realm with my friends, I was like, hey, copper, excellent, you know, I'll be able to, you know, grab this. Because when, in the very early game, like, when iron is still scarce, but you need a helmet, why not look like an excellent iron golem, you know? So now you might be thinking, this is barely building a boat, but the name is not I'm gonna build a boat. Oh god, I didn't make that the name of the stream, did I? No, I didn't. It's thinking about, I did so good. I gotta get more like theoretical with these stream names, right? That's the key. I can actually like tell the truth. I am out of rockets. That's okay. Well, like, I'd be afraid to go mining if I didn't have armor at all, right? And for like, my perspective as a player who plays hardcore, you know, although I haven't had to spin up a new world in quite some time, I just think, man, if you had that at the very beginning, you just need one piece of iron to get, you know, your shield and 3 pieces of iron for your bucket, and then with your copper armor you can very comfortably go underground. Because me, like, I am afraid to go into the earth without stuff. Although in this world I feel like we did it pretty quick. Relatively for me. Alright, I guess because if you're just like going down and clicking on things, that's mining. Shield too good. Alright, what was I doing? We were looking for this to make these. But like, what if one day we actually get this whole thing, you know, and we'll have, you know, the artificial lush cave that goes through it all. Ha! With the deep dark looming. Bonk. See, it looks like a dropper level that one knocks through ledge map. You know, I don't know what that means, but I bet I can fill in from the context clues that it is it is so sketchy that it looks like an obstacle course people designed. And like trim map. So is that just like what it sounds like? Just like a wingsuit thing, like people do in real life until they can't anymore. A seed for the boss. Pork chop for the best dog. Do I have rockets in here? Yes, good. You're fluid about your life, and then you get just a small amount of diamonds, and then all of a sudden it's precious. Dude, on the bedrock realm, whenever I like drowned in something, cause yeah, man. I lost all my stuff. I was like, this is why I play hardcore. It's easier to just actually die. Well, you know, it's something. And honestly, if it weren't so long and, you know, realistic, it should be... It just seems like it's too long of a boat, but it's not. It could... I actually think, is this not long enough? Like, why don't I just get the coordinate? Yeah, this isn't even long enough, is it? This is just like 17. Yeah. Well... We're gonna have to make the boat longer. That's okay, it won't be too tough. Clearly, having somewhat realistic proportions is the only thing that matters about this boat. I'm willing to compromise on all the other stuff. Presence of oars, seaworthiness, that one's already a wash. So you think you could get iron quickly making copper via race resources, but copper's not worth much, you know, and it just all depends. See, me, if I'm in a hardcore world, sure, you could just die and get another one, but imagine how you'd feel if you got into a world this beautiful, right? You would want to hold on to it. Not everybody likes the same stuff in a world, but like, it's got a snowy mountain at spawn wreathed in cherry trees. That's very cool. It's got like a vast ocean where the sun rises over it every day that you spawned right at. Like, you spawn looking at the sunrise across like a world of possibilities. There's a ruined nether portal out there in the ocean. Like, it's a good world. And I would hate to lose it. That's how come I'm so careful all the time. And never use a shield. After all, with the shield you could still die, but with the totem... I built this little lake too. I like building lakes. I did not build this, although I could, I know how. It looks better than anything I've ever done. I did put the lush cave in here, though. We could do better. you know, why not have many more projects stapled all together? But, you know, for right now, this will have to do. Let's go give Hank a pork chop. Good old Hank the cow dog. But for me, I mean, basically any hardcore world I've ever been into, like, as soon as I get oriented, I now am attached to the place, you know, like, the story's already begun. And I remember most of the hardcore worlds I've ever been in. I mean, not just the ones that we lived in, you know, for a little while, but like even ones where we only lived, you know, maybe 10 days. There's this one where I was trying to live on like a shipwreck thing on this, it was like attached to this beach, and I was following the treasure maps, and then I died like surrounded by zombies, you know, because I acted carelessly trying to go treasure hunting. And that was a really cool world. It's got nothing on this one, though. But it's that time again. Hello, Dummer. Sorry, you've come right at the end of the episode, unfortunately, but I've got to get to bed. I've got to go to work tomorrow. Oh, it's so funny. I was sharing like Silk Song and this dude. They left a very helpful comment. They're like, I just want to stop in and tell you that you're never gonna make it and get a real job. I'm like, I have a job. I have to go to work tomorrow. It's nice to come back here. It's been a little while, but I've just been so into the various games I've been playing, right? After Expedition 33, and then Diablo coming back out, and whatever Total War campaign I'm into. The one I'm in now is, it's pretty fun. It's definitely pretty interesting. But we might need to build like another little expansion on the house, but as far as evil villain layers goes, it's already kind of perfect, right? And the sun rises again. Day 821. Of course, if all you do is putter around, plant trees and stuff. Oh, that tree's still there. We need to cut that down. That tree right there is interrupting the sunrise. That one over there is okay. That's part of like the tree preserve. But, you know, I am definitely got to come back and play again soon. You know, we've got to build more of this boat, because this is only part of a boat. You know, like, you can barely call yourself a boat if all you are is like some wood in the water. We do have, you know, a little bit of a dugout, but at this point, like, it's not a bireme, right? It's a dugout. It's a dugout canoe. Two different types of wood, though, is promising for the complexity, you know. So maybe you'd be like, I don't know, it could be a bireme. We'll see. Again, since we don't know how to do the oars, I I don't think you can, like, place several sticks in a row. Be worth a shot. Just, like, throw sticks into the water. We're like, those are the oars. Look, I made a boat. But I've been having a blast, but unfortunately, you know, time comes for us all. One day you'll be motivated enough to build the U.S. Constitution. Well, I would be happy to look at it. You know, if you find the motivation to build it, I will find the motivation to look at it. Probably not in enough detail as it deserves, and say, huh, that's pretty awesome. Moreover, I would mean it. You know, the geode actually looks fine, right? It's kinda is fine. Do I have a spyglass in here? Where is it? It doesn't matter. Anyway. We built some of a boat and cut down some trees and thought about boats for a lot of the time, so I consider this an unmitigated win. You know, following through on the title. Just as promised. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. I gotta go to bed. Or turn this off and play Vampire Survivors in my room, you know, with the lights down, clutched over my computer screen. Like, no one can see me playing this very fattening video game. It's like the ice cream of video games. No, I'm just playing. It's fun. I just don't have anything to add to it. But anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, Luke. Good night, 158. Good night, Domer. Good night, everyone. It was nice to see you and nice to talk. Hope you're well, and maybe I'll see you in a later stream or video. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara. Au revoir. Again. Goodbye.